Hi guys, welcome on in. This is our new moon in Leo. So we are going to be talking about setting goals and taking care of yourself in order for you to attract your goals and aspirations. If you have Leo placements in your chart, this would be a really good time to create those goals and figure out a bit more about yourself. My name's Evren Ryu. I am co-founder of Cosmic Energy and Spiritual Wellness. I'm very excited to go through everything. I will be doing an introduction. Today I have my lovely family and friends here as well. So they'll be answering some questions or anything that they might need throughout that you actually might have questions. So please feel free to type your questions in the comments as well, but we'll be going over a welcome and an intro. This will be similar to the previous welcome and intros. We'll be going over self-assessment, how to assess yourself. Because we are in a Leo moon, we're going to be checking out how to spiritually self-assess yourself. If you have the Starseed Summer Self Care Guide, we have gone over how to emotionally self-assess yourself, how to mindfully self-assess your mindset, and now today we'll be going over how to spiritually assess yourself. Then we'll go over some self-care strategies. Previously, we went over how to strategize different techniques for your mindset. So when your thoughts get a bit frazzled, and if you have overly emotional feelings, how to strategize your emotions. We're going to be going over how to strategize your spirit, because Leo and any fire signs, they deal with your inner flame. They deal with your faith and your belief system. So if you have your faith in a goal, now you can reach further towards that goal and you have aspiration to reach higher. We'll go over higher self support, seeking divine support, and then we'll be in our last phase. So first we learned about how to install the vibration of self-care. And it's important to install positive thoughts to what you perceive of yourself. So how many people can say that they have really good thoughts about themselves? Right? So in order for us to fully accept our goals, we also have to fully accept who we are as people. And then we activate the frequency of self-care. And within activating a frequency, you're allowing any energy, any emotion to come your way and shape it for you to get that goal. So now you're not allowing other people's energy or other emotions to change your goal. You're actually working with it. And then today we'll talk about utilizing the self-care as a sacred practice. So let's get into it. Everyone here in person knows who I am, but I will let everyone online know who I am. I'm a Starseed life coach, Evren, and I'm so blessed to share this self-care guide with you. So a lot of times we see others taking care of themselves and we wonder why those techniques aren't working for us. So there have been techniques in the past where I used to be able to just go get my nails done, or I used to be able to just soak in the bathtub, and now certain things aren't working. They're not fulfilling me anymore. Does anyone kind of feel that way for themselves? Yeah? So we're kind of wondering, why aren't those things working for us anymore? And it's because our planet is ascending. Our planet is raising her vibration. And as our planet continues to ascend to this higher vibration, the way we take care of ourselves also ascends. It's also changing. So we have to raise the way that we take a bath. We have to raise the way that we see ourselves. And specifically, being a starseed, you're working with interplanetary frequencies. So now, because the new moon in Leo is happening, you're being affected and your energy naturally wants to make new goals. But if you don't allow your energy to naturally make those new goals, the energy around is just going to form and create it for you. So instead, we want to co-create with the energy around us. Now, introduction. Let's break down the meaning of self-care. Specifically for a starseed, the definition of self is a person's essential being that distinguishes and separates them from other beings, especially considered as the object of introspection. So this is you going into yourself and recognizing who you actually are. As a starseed, you have multidimensional selves. So you have multiple selves that distinguish a separation from other starseeds and earth seeds. The starseed self is a culmination of 11 other lives. So if you've ever heard the term past lives, this is what they're speaking of. Also future lives, because time isn't linear, it's coexisting. So now your higher self then has 11 other lives that are created from your divine self or your angelic self. Now, this has a unique connection to source. So that calculates 12 higher selves, each having 12 lower dimensional frequency soul selves. You're one of those lower dimensional selves. So now we have a lot of parts to take care of. So you're not just you right now, and that's why it's seeming strange that the things that only you used to like, you're expanding. We're expanding our self-care for these other parts of who we are meant to be. So let's go over the definition of care now that we kind of understand a bigger version of self. To care for something is paying attention to what is necessary for the health, welfare, maintenance, and protection of that thing or person. So you are that person. Different parts of ourselves get to look after and provide essential needs of who we are at this very moment. So what's really uplifting is that you aren't the only version of yourself taking care of you. Your angelic self is taking care of you. Your higher selves are taking care of you. So this is where each one of those souls, higher selves, and divine self, they have their own physical, mindful, energetic, and spiritual bodies that engage with your multidimensional Templar. Whenever I say Templar, I'm interchanging it with chakras. So all combining into one light column. This one light column connects you to source. So their concern, your higher selves, your guidance, your past selves, your future self, your angelic self, is you and your self-care takes priority and its importance to the ascension of the entire collective. Because if you don't ascend, then the rest of your angelic self doesn't as well. You're part of a whole unit connected to source. What do you guys think about that? Any questions or clarifications? Just checking. Okay. Sweet. So we got through the intro. Now, self-assessment. It's always nice to have almost a checklist of things that you can see what's going on. And specifically, since we're in the new moon in Leo, our spirit is going to be amplified. Any fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, that we enter, it's going to amplify our faith. It's going to amplify our want, our need to create with source. So spiritual body, starseed care. There are 4 sections. I'm going to go over one section today. The first part is Crown Templar. So when I say Crown Templar, I mean crown chakra. Spiritual connection to your soul path. So this is really indicating what is your purpose and how do you work with your crown chakra. Oof. It's squeaky. So this is a really big moment to allow your crown chakra to connect with you. A lot of great crystals to help your crown chakra are lepidolite, amethyst, any purple stones, purple fluorites. Let's see, Super 7, that's purple. Crown chakra stones are great for understanding your experience, because we are not just human beings wanting to become spiritual. We are our spirits experiencing a human life. So our spirit is seeing and observing what we are doing and making sure we are on our soul path, making sure that we are doing our highest ability in all fashions. So different ways to work with your crown chakra are also fasting, different ways to work with your crown. Let's see, meditation is a really huge amplification. So meditating tonight, especially with your crown. I'm trying to contemplate the mantra Om is also connected to your crown. So chanting or saying Om for a full breath. So inhaling through your nostrils and exhaling Om. That connects you to your crown templar as well. So anything, I love for my clients to do an amethyst crown chakra scrub. So if you've worked with me before, I've more than likely scrubbed your head spiritually. So don't go and grab your amethyst and put it on your actual head. But about an inch or two away from your scalp and kind of scrub your crown chakra so you can be adjusted. And even meditating, what is my soul path? What is my purpose? What have I been experiencing? And what's something new that I want to experience? How do you think we can expand from our crown chakra spiritual connection? And please intervene if you guys get any ideas. A different beautiful way to connect you with your crown is to invite your spirit through your crown chakra. I love waking up in the morning and inviting my spirit and making sure I have a day that is within my soul path, making sure that I'm headed in the right direction. And when you consciously connect with your crown and you consciously make yourself aware that I want to be on the highest path, you will always access your goals. So you won't miss out on anything. You won't be distracted by other side goals that aren't as important as your main purpose. Next, let's see. So that's one way to assess yourself. So do you feel like you are living your purpose? And if not, that is a good indication of what your goal should be during this new moon in Leo. How can I get closer to my purpose? What is my purpose? Right? Now we're kind of getting the gears moving, and that's exactly what the crown chakra does. The crown chakra wants us to understand who we are better, which leads us to the next thing. To have meaning in being you. What does it mean to be you? What does it mean to be you without the mother-father label? What does it mean to be you without the worker business owner label? What does it mean to be you without the sister or brother label? Who are you? This is the deeper question of, okay, I have a purpose. Now, who am I, even if I don't feel like I'm doing that purpose? So these are a bit more difficult physically and mindfully. They do challenge our mind. Your spiritual self connects better with your energetic and emotional body. You can feel when you are being yourself. You feel really good. The energy feels heightened and you are excited. When you think too much about it, you start overthinking and doubting and questioning yourself. So this question does challenge your mind, and it does challenge your physical self. It challenges, okay, am I doing actions that are me? Are my actions authentically from me, or am I doing it because of a job? Am I doing it because of a family member? Am I doing it because of my spouse or my child? Or is this from me? And that's where we start making goals that are for us and set us on our path. And this is what self-care is being authentically us, so then we don't have to be distracted and make selfish motives. This is being selfless and being who you are. Because the only person you can be is you. And that's what our spirit tells us. That's what faith guides us towards. Anything to add to that, guys? Oh, yay. Good. Okay. All right. So now, being you. So these are fun and, connect with them in an exciting way. Reflect with all parts of yourself as one. So I will write this up here. So it was very easy before to be ourselves spiritually. This can be pretty comfortable because no one can see your spirit, obviously, unless you're connecting with other spiritual people. But typically, you connect with people physically. You connect with people even energetically. You can see someone is experiencing an emotion of sadness or anger, right? But what is difficult is to reflect with our own self as one. So how can you connect your purpose? How can you connect with your authentic self in your mind? And this looks like, how do you talk to yourself? What is that inner dialogue of you speaking to yourself? Does it differentiate when you're around other people? Does it differentiate when you're at your job? When you're with your child? And how can we get it the same way as your spirit speaking through you? How can we get this authentic version of you to come out more in your mind? How can we get this authentic version of you to come out in your actions? Are your actions matching who you are? And that's where we get closer to our goals. Because if your spirit has faith in you, but you doubt the actions you're taking, you can't get to that goal because you're missing the ability to take action. You're missing the thought and the vibration to go for that goal. So reflect with all parts of yourself as one, because your spirit, as strong and confident as it is being your authentic self, it needs your mindset to be on the same page of faith. It needs your physical body to move and take action towards those goals. It needs your emotions to run through your body so you don't remain stuck and triggered in those moments that you don't have faith in yourself. So this is where we can push ourselves forward. That one's a trickier one, but it's so relieving when you can connect your emotion with spirit. When you can connect your thoughts with spirit. It's having faith in all of you. And I know we can do this. I've seen it. This is how goals happen. This is how we accomplish our big dreams. Now, the next one is sensing your 12th dimensional divine blueprint. 12D blueprint. I talk about this a lot. This is your truest version. This is your angelic self. This is the undistorted version that Source made you in. When we descended and we started getting distorted in our third dimension, we forgot who we truly are. We forgot that we are part of Source. So how can you continue reminding yourself that you are a higher vibrating being? Easy ways to do this is raising your vibration through yoga, meditating, cleansing your energy. Let's see. Cleansing your energy with selenite is really great. And this allows spirit and your angelic self to come towards you. Making a practice and connect with your angelic self. Connect somehow and figure out what crystal, what plant, what flower, what aroma. Get really intimate with your angelic self and see how you can easily, physically connect with your angel self. So then you can be reminded that you are this happier, blissful, and joyful being that's in the 12D. Because that being believes in you. And sometimes when we lack belief in ourselves, it's really nice to be reminded that we are this angelic person. We are this angelic vibration. The following actually connects, so I'll keep this up. Through this connection, now you get to interpret spiritual downloads. This is a big one. So now that you have a connection with your angelic self, you will receive ringing in the ears. You'll receive touches of, it feels like someone might be touching your shoulders, holding your hand, giving you a hug. You can feel your hands heat up. You can feel a cool breeze come by you. You'll get an image in your mind of you in your dream. So let's say you want a dream house. Let's say you want a dream farm. And now you see a clear visual in your mind. Who do you think placed that visual in your mind? Your angelic self knows that you can achieve this. And sometimes we might have a hard time actually seeing it. So now how do we interpret these downloads? This can also look like numerology. We'll receive numbers, synchronicities. So if you keep seeing something over and over and over, that's your 12th dimensional self saying, hey, it's time to do this now. Or stop. I'm taking care of it in divine time. But we need that connection to keep that faith going. So it's not that you're believing in your intention, because belief can go so far. You can believe in something, but you don't have faith in it because you won't go do it. You can have faith in doing it and allow Source and your angelic self that they have you. So this is trusting and having faith. So that's a self-assessment. So if you are challenged by any of these spiritual body self-care assessments, it's time to work on your spiritual self. Which during this new moon in Leo is a great time to do. Now, self-care strategies. Let's say you're having a hard time connecting with your spiritual self, or you're just having a third eye chakra awakening. This can be pretty intimidating. Or maybe you're receiving downloads and we've activated our crown chakra, but they're so excessive that it's spiritually triggering us. We're being spiritually triggered. So a better way to assist this spiritual trigger is being prepared. So being prepared for challenges or obstacles are great ways that our soul grows and creates a higher vibration. These challenges and obstacles put our way, especially spiritually, are meant to raise our frequency and show us that you can do anything as long as you have faith, as long as you're connected to Source, right? So first, let's find out what to do when you're spiritually triggered. A great step. So embody your higher self. I'll write down these steps. So embody your higher self. You can just think about your higher self, if you've connected with your higher self or not. Your higher self is just a lower version of your angelic self. It's just a version that's easier to grasp onto, because we have been conditioned to think of ourselves as humans that can't really do anything. We've had this conditioning since very young that we are only meant to learn, memorize, and do complete tasks, when our soul is much greater than that, right? So our higher self shows us that we have more purpose than that. We have more abilities than just taking orders. So embodying your higher self is as easy as taking one of your stones or lighting either incense or Palo Santo and just calling in the vibration of your higher self. Now, once you actually call in that vibration, because our higher selves and angelic selves, they do not have free will like we do. They will come, they will respond. That is their job. So after we embody our higher self, meditate on why your higher self chose this lesson to accomplish. Why, I'll put HS, higher self, did you choose this lesson? We are raising our vibration. With raising our vibration, we're not letting go anymore. So if you think about your challenges as homework, your higher self signed up for certain challenges, lessons, as homework for your soul to accomplish. Let's ask, why did your higher self choose that lesson? Because you're triggered at the fact that you chose this lesson as homework. So now it's to figure out why. So go into a meditation. Then write down your answer. And I think this is important. I know it sounds silly, but these spiritual downloads, if anyone here has had a spiritual download or a dream or a synchronicity, you get super amped that you got the connection, that you forget what the answer was. We forget to write it down. We think we have engaged it, and then we want to recall it back, and we forgot, which is okay. We're only human, right? But we have our higher selves to allow us to see what that lesson was, so we can make sure to write it down, so then you can look back at it. So then when that challenge comes up again, you have a guide, you have a reference, you have some sort of piece of information that you can utilize again, so then it doesn't feel so triggering. Because what we want to do is get out of feeling triggered. We want to make sure we don't get depressed or anxious. Typically, when you are spiritually triggered, you become anxious. You're like, well, what does that mean for my future if I don't accomplish this challenge? So we start overthinking and doubting ourselves. So for us to not have that anxiety, we connect with our higher self and say, oh, it's just a piece of homework. It's okay. We want to accomplish it for XYZ. Got it. We're going to do this. Now, which Templar are you and your higher self working on together? So which Templar, or again, chakra, because you and your higher self have the same chakra system. So you too, through this lesson, through this challenge, are working on a chakra to raise together. So if you think you're having throat chakra issues, or root chakra issues, whatever it might be, it could very well be that your higher self has a really hard time with that chakra as well. And you are the piece, you are the self that is helping your higher self learn how to work with its own chakras. So you're a very big part of this soul purpose and soul journey. Any questions or clarifications? Awesome. Okay. The next thing is first quarter. So first quarter lunar phases, they tend to bring on these challenges, the homework, the lesson that our soul intended for our ascension. Now, you can experience some spiritual triggering around August 12th. This is the first quarter and it's in Scorpio. So if you have Scorpio placements, it is going to spiritually trigger your emotions. So I would definitely put it on your calendar to see what chakra you and your higher self are working on, because these aren't challenges to make you weak. These are challenges to overcome and to finish your assignment with your higher self. Woohoo! Now, seeking divine support. I went over, and I'll keep going over 2 different ways to seek divine support, but it is essential for you to know that seeking support when you're energetically, physically, mindfully, and or spiritually out of alignment from your divine 12th path, it's so essential. Even if you deem to be a guru or a higher frequency vibrating being, all of those people, all of those beings know that they need to seek assistance and go back to alignment. So it is more than okay to ask for help during challenging times, especially to be reminded to your higher calling. Divine beings and higher selves, again, they do not have free will as liberating as 5D beings, which means in order for them to intervene and assist with us, they have to be requested to intervene. They will not just intervene because, again, Earth is a school. It's a learning place for all beings and souls to ascend with their angel self. So here are some ways to be supported. Let's see. Accept your spiritual body to enter your crown Templar. We spoke a little bit about this, but this is to assist in your experience. So I would recommend your crown chakra between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. Your crown chakra is activated. If you wake up around that time, work with your crown chakra. Call in your spiritual body to bring in wisdom from your spiritual download. Because prior to this, if you are asleep at night, so let's say 9 p.m. to 5 a.m., you're sleeping, your spirit is astral projecting. Your spirit is somewhere else. So at night, or while you are sleeping, your spirit is astral projecting, and your spirit is learning things. Your spirit could be going to school. Your spirit could be helping other people. So whatever your spirit is doing, when you wake up, this is why your crown chakra is activated. You want to welcome your spirit back into your body. And this is what makes you more conscious. This is what allows knowledge from your spirit, because your spirit's also learning with you. Your spirit is like, hey, I just did a lot of cool things last night. You want to learn about them? And then you get to experience what your spirit, because you are a mirror of your spirit, as above, so below. As above, your spirit was doing a bunch of cool stuff, and now we get to download it. Now we get to integrate it into our day. So it's nice to consciously download that information through our Crown Templar. And this is a great time because your spirit knows, hey, there's some really cool opportunities for you that I found out in the spiritual realm. Let's bring them on in, and you should set goals towards this. Another way, meditate with your higher selves to assist your vibration. So that's one way. And I spoke a little bit about this, but we're going to get more in depth. Meditate with higher selves. You have more than one higher self. Because you have more than one higher self, your different higher selves have different personalities and help you with different things. So maybe you've only been working with one higher self and all they really want to work on is love and compassion. But you want to make some money. There's a different higher self that loves abundance and prosperity. So it's checking in on those parts of your higher selves that can assist you towards goals that you want to aspire to. Because again, as above, so below. But if you're not paying attention to these different parts of your higher self, then you're not getting the full picture of who you are in the upper realms. Now, vibration, they can help you with your vibration. And a cool thing about vibration is that vibrations create thoughts. So, when you listen to music, you get a thought. When you hear someone speaking, because their voice is a vibration, they're giving you a thought. Whether you know what they're saying or not, it's providing and making a frequency to think. So your higher self can help you think. So if you're having a hard time with your thoughts, you're having harsh thoughts, you should check to see if you're even connecting with your higher self. So let's see what else. Astral project with your divine self. So this is the first part. Meditating with your higher self about your thoughts. Then you get to astral project. Now you're already doing this subconsciously at nighttime, but if you want to consciously have an out-of-body experience, you call your divine self. And again, your divine self is all of your higher selves together. This is everything. This is the closest part of you that is to source. And the reason why we're divided up like this is because we vibrate at such a high frequency, it didn't fit in this low frequency body. So we thought, hey, this would be simpler to distort ourselves and be smaller energetically beings. But now, if we want to astral project into our angel self, this would be a great way. Some wonderful stones to utilize for astral projection. You want safety stones, so shungite, black tourmaline, obsidian, hematite. These are great protection stones because your body isn't going to have your spirit in it at the moment, and you want to make sure it's protected. I do say if you've never had a conscious astral projection with someone, you should seek a shaman or like ourselves, Evren, Elam over there, for shamanic guidance for a galactic journey or astral projection. But also, you know yourself best, and if you feel like you're up for it and can do it safely, go do it and connect with your angelic self. This helps your frequency. So because your divine self are all of your higher selves, it's like a big meeting. Imagine all of your higher selves talking together in unison. So now if you put together a bunch of frequencies or a bunch of vibrations, you make a frequency. And that's what creates light. So your divine self is light, this angelic light source. So this is a form of protection. So whenever you connect with your angelic self, you're forming a strong bond to protect who you are and care for yourself. Those are some pretty big how to support yourself. How do you guys feel about those techniques? And when you need some spiritual support? Yeah? Okay. Now we get to go to the fun stuff. So in my other videos, you can find how to install self-care vibrations, but this also helps if you're having trouble with your mind. You're just like, gosh, there's some really crummy thoughts in my head. I need a better mindset. Go meditate with your higher selves. Your higher selves, there's someone that's kind of ticked off that you're not speaking with them. Imagine you have all of these beautiful thoughts and vibrations, but you only focus on one. You're secluding part of who you actually are. So why don't you listen to everybody? And then we have activating the frequency of self-care. To activate your frequency, connect with your angelic self, especially during this new moon in Leo. Now we're going to talk about utilizing self-care as a sacred practice, because it is sacred to care for yourself. Not everyone cares for themselves, and you can see it how they speak to others. You can see it how they treat others and themselves. You can see it that they lack faith, they're incredibly doubtful, and they're over analytical on other people and especially themselves. So having it as a sacred practice and knowing that you have to do it daily. You have to remind yourself that you are important and you are valued in what you do and how you think about yourself. So now that you have the frequency of your divine path, now that you know your purpose, right? Because that's what this new moon is about. How do I know my passion? How do I know my purpose? How can spirit light my flame again so I can keep going on to these bigger than life goals? Because Leo is flashy. Leo is out there and open and in the crowd. Your spirit is saying, hey, you are this larger than life being and you should be living that way through your goals in your life. So now that you are open to an infinite amount of resources from source, you can actually use your techniques, because you can keep affirmations up, but if you don't have faith that they're real, they're not going to do anything. You can keep doing the same workout, the same physical routine, but if you don't believe that that routine's working, it will not work for you. So now the ability to use your different bodies in unison is absolutely sacred, because what alignment truly means is that you're aligning your goal to your thoughts, you're aligning your goal to your actions, you're aligning your goal to the emotions and energies. So no matter what energy comes your way, it doesn't change that you have faith in yourself. And we see this time and time again. You have this big dream, and someone comes along and says something really not fun about it, and then you dampen your dream. You push it down so it gets into their reality. We need to stop doing that. That is a projection from them, and you get to utilize and say, oh, that's interesting you think of that way. I'm sorry you think that way. I think this way about my dream. So we need to take power and more courage, like Leo's, in saying, well, I have passion and drive for this. Maybe you don't, but I do. And that's where we take care of ourselves in multiple manners. Because what you think, what you do, how you feel and believe in, it creates personalized formulas that project your reality. Because we are making our own reality here. We're amazing in making our own reality. So now each dimension that we live in has this light column, and it's made of 7 Templars, 7 chakras. So you have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When you have confidence in all aspects of yourself, your light raises and it reaches source, and source says, wow, you believe in yourself. Here's your goal because you can handle it. If you don't believe in certain aspects of yourself, that light can't pass through. So you won't feel safe with your goal and you'll lose it. You see, time and time again, people might get their goal. They might get the money. They might get the dream partner, the dream house, whatever, and it falls through because they were lacking faith in certain areas. So now each time that you engage with an aspect of yourself, make sure that you have faith. And if you don't, seek spiritual support. That's the main way to get your light going again back to source. So I hope this shows how important you are. I really hope that you, after seeing this video, perceive yourself in a new light. I hope that even the way you make your goals is different. I will go over physically mindful self-care goals. Tonight, please make a physically mindful goal. This looks at goals that you want to feel safe in, but you're not safe in yet. What scares you and what doesn't make you feel safe? Because I guarantee that fear is an illusion, and the goal is to feel safe in that really big goal and to stabilize that goal. And how can you ground and be aware of this goal? Now that it's in your life, we want to ground it. We want to get excited, but not excited to the point of we overthink, we get anxiety, and then we lose that goal. We want to ground it in and say, no, this is rightfully mine and I accept it. And now it's stable in my life. Other goals, energetically spiritual goals to make. So use energy. What do you want to be creative with? And what are you emotional about? Leos are very emotional in a very big, bright, and loud way. What are you emotional about? And how can you create from that energy? So even meditate, tap in tonight on how can you create with a big emotion that you have. Because I really hope when you see yourself in that goal, you see yourself in your farm, you see yourself in your dream kitchen, that it makes you swell up and you get excited. If you do not have emotion, then that probably is not the goal you should be setting. You should get emotional. It is good to have emotions for your goals because now you're connecting your energy to create it. Spiritual goals that also should challenge your spirit. Your spirit wants a challenge because your spirit's here to help you. So know that any goal you make that might sound challenging to spirit, your spirit's like, heck yes, we're going to take this on. And it wants you to be conscious that spirit's working right along with you to make your goals come true. So that is all of the techniques for tonight. Meditations to do tonight to help you make your goals. What do you spiritually want to grow? What do you spiritually want to grow? This is important. This answer might not make sense because as above, so below. Your spirit might want to grow something that you may have zero confidence in yourself in accomplishing. Your spirit may have something in the huge, larger picture that you're just seeing a little detail in the goal that you're making right now. So this is a really huge way to tap in on that. Next, which higher self aspect are you spiritually co-creating with this month? So again, we have more than one higher self, but which higher self are you co-creating with? Which higher self are you co-creating with? And that's important to know because now you know who to call on. Now you know, oh, I need help with this mindset, higher self. Who am I connecting with? And the last question to help make goals from, how do you intend on creating a loyal relationship with your higher self? Leo energy is all about loyalty. So how do you intend on creating a loyal relationship with your higher self? Loyal higher self. relationship. This can look like meditating with your higher self during a certain time of day, dedicating a prayer or a mantra or a mudra to your higher self. How do you become loyal with your higher self? Because your higher self will always be loyal to you. How can you be loyal to your higher self? Now, this is putting yourself first and taking care of higher versions of you, because your higher self, you are your higher self, right? So now you get to be loyal to yourself. Sometimes it's just easier to see our higher self separate from us, because then we can say, oh, well, I'm being loyal to that aspect, even though it is you. So have fun in making your amazing goals. Go accomplish them. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. Next time I will be on here. It will be for the August full moon in Aquarius, and we'll be going over your mindset. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Love you. Please visit the website if you have any questions or comments, or you're interested in any life coaching programs or plans. Bye.